Hello YouTube, it is your boy B3, back with another kicking graphic novel review. So, I have been trying to go through all the Dark Nights Metal and Dark Nights Death Metal stuff. At the time of recording this, only the main Death Metal book is out. The other three have yet to come out. I have one of them pre-ordered. But I have reviewed Dark Nights Metal The Resistance and Dark Nights Metal Dark Nights Rising. So today we're actually doing the book that leads into Dark Nights Metal, Dark Days, The Road to Metal. Very cool book. Let me read you the back of the book real quick. DC's top talents introduce the world of metal. For years, Batman has been tracking a mystery. He's quietly been pulling a thread, conducting research in secret laboratories across the globe, and stowing evidence deep in the Batcave, hidden even from his closest allies. Now in an epic story spanning generations, the heroes and villains of the DC Universe, including Green Lantern, the Joker, Wonder Woman, and more, will all find out what secrets he's discovered. Secrets that could threaten the very existence of the multiverse. The unforgettable team of Scott Snyder, James Tynion IV, Jim Lee, John Romita Jr., and Andy Kubert combine forces to set the stage for the epic Dark Nights Metal, leading directly into this blockbuster event. Dark Days, The Road to Metal collects Dark Days The Forge #1 and Dark Days The Casting #1, which were both books that led into metal. One-shots, of course. And it also has classic DC stories that built the foundation of metal, including Final Crisis 6 through 7, Batman: The Return of Bruce Wayne #1, Batman number 38 and 39 from the Scott Snyder run, and Nightwing number 17 from the 2016 Rebirth run. Now, I actually have other copies of almost everything in this book. When these books came out, I read single issues, so I had a copy of Dark Days The Forge and Dark Days The Casting #1s. I did sell them and got this instead so I could do a bunch of rereading. I don't really do single issue anymore just because of the cost, and I don't like rereading single issues because I feel like I'm going to mess them up. And it's that collector mindset. It's easier for me to just do trades now. And then the classic DC stories. I've actually reviewed Final Crisis on here. It's a book I've read several times. I've read Batman: The Return of Bruce Wayne. Do not have a copy of it. I borrowed one. Batman 38 and 39 I have read multiple times, single issue and trade. And then Nightwing 17, I have that in trade as well. Now, if you are reading all these bonus issues for the first time, you should probably read them before the 2 Dark Days issues. Because if you've never read any of these, and you read the 2 Dark Days issues first, you're not going to understand them without these issues. I actually think it was very cool of them to include them. Now, could they have just thrown the 2 one-shots into the Dark Nights Metal trade and called it a day? Yes. But they tricked us into buying another book. They were like, we could put these 2 in the main book, but let's do a separate book. And you know what? To be honest, I actually think it's a good idea. Yes, it's a way for them to make more money, but I want DC to make money, for one thing, so they'll make me more comics. They're my favorite comic publisher, just straight up. My favorite comic might be from Boom, but my favorite comic publisher is DC. I am obsessed with the DC universe. I have copies, once again, of everything in here separately, except the Batman: The Return of Bruce Wayne, which I need to get my own copy of that, because I have all the books surrounding it. All the Dick Grayson Batman stuff and etc. And Batman Death stuff. I really need that book. But it was good to have reminders. I remember Nightwing 17 and the Batman Scott Snyder stuff pretty well. I needed to read The Return of Bruce Wayne again, and I kind of needed to read Final Crisis again, because it's been a long time. It's been a while since I read it. I haven't read Final Crisis since I reviewed it years ago. I'm trying not to reread anything until I've reviewed most, if not everything I have. You see what I'm saying? Because I got 3 stacks here, stuff to review, and then more elsewhere. I have so many books. But yeah, so now I'm going to go through everything, and we're going to talk about each issue. I'm kind of going to talk about the first 2 issues as if they're one story, the 2 one-shots, because they are one story, basically. So we got Carter Hall, Hawkman talking about going through his lives and all these dark things he's discovered. The Guardians are like, something's about to go down at Earth, Hal. You need to go to the Batcave and stop it. Signal's in there. This is going to have a lot of spoilers, by the way. Signal and Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, discover the Joker illegally locked up in the Batcave. Not that anything Batman does is illegal, but, breaking the Justice League charter, so illegal even in the superhuman community. And Joker seems to know about the coming tragedy because of his Dionysium and etc., and his obsession with Batman. He's found all the clues and stuff. And then Duke, the Signal, he doesn't take the name The Signal until later. I've already reviewed Batman and The Signal, the miniseries, I believe. Yes, I have, for sure. Signal's powers kind of activate. They flip on the machine, and they basically set everything into motion. We also have Final Crisis with Superman rebooting the universe with the Miracle Machine and everything, and Darkseid's influence on a lot of this stuff. It was mostly important for Batman getting quote-unquote killed, actually shot through time, and that stuff. Got him. I am tired, guys. I'm sorry. It's really late, and I worked a full day today. I have been a busy bee. But we get all that stuff. Then we get to the Turn of Bruce Wayne issue, which is the where he's sent back in time and he's coming forward. He's jumping timelines, jumping forward in time and accumulating a bunch of energy that could destroy the world. It was actually pretty good. The Return of Bruce Wayne is a good book. And then we have the 2 issues from Scott Snyder Batman, which are from the Endgame story, where the Joker and Batman, big spoilers for Endgame, both quote-unquote die at the end, but it had a lot to do with Dionysium, which is pure stuff that the Lazarus Pit's made out of, and it's got one of the fancy metals in it that has to do with Dark Knight's metal. Whew. So they're actually 2 of the most relevant issues, because those issues were actually building up to this story. And then you also have the issue of Nightwing, which is a very recent issue. Nightwing gets cut on the head with a blade from one of the metals in that book. And it gives him visions, and those visions help them out in Dark Knight's The Resistance, which I have already reviewed. Dark Knight's Metal, The Resistance. My favorite part of this book is when Wonder Woman gives Batman Apollo's sword that mortals aren't even supposed to know about. The gods are so afraid of this dark multiverse incursion that they left Earth. They just bounced. They got the hell out of there. Wonder Woman was like, "Here, Bruce, you'll need this sword. Remember to stay in the light. Don't trade it for the darkness." And then what Bruce immediately does is trade it for the darkness. He trades it to Talia al Ghul, right after Wonder Woman gives it to him, for a dagger. So the sword is the 8th metal, and the dagger is the 9th, which is, the Hawkwoman metal. Or is it Hawk Girl? What is it? Which is it right now? Is it Hawk Girl right now? I think it's Hawk Girl right now. So it's a ride. It's a ride. It's a good book. Once again, if you have not read all of the issues that are bonus issues in this, be sure to read them before the 2 Dark Days one-shots, because that will help you, know what's actually happening in the one-shots. this book can be kind of pricey. I have like the deluxe hardcover, which ran me about $30. I got it from my local comic shop. Support your local comic shop if you can, people. They are dying, and the pandemic killed most of the ones that were left, actually. So please support your local comic shop. If you don't have one, you can check out mycomicsplus.com. No, that's not. That's the old website. comicsplusofmacon.com. This is not sponsored. I'm shouting them out because they are my local comic shop and I want to help them. They have sponsored me before. They are not sponsoring me right now. Not this video. I'm just shouting them out because it's a great store and I want comic shops to survive, especially the one I go to. Even though I have had to do a lot of distancing. They closed it down for most of the pandemic, which is still raging at the time of recording this, of course. But yeah, this is a good book. A lot of great art from a lot of classic artists. I loved it. Dark Days, The Road to Metal. Scott Snyder, James Tynion IV, Jim Lee, Andy Kubert, John Romita Jr., etc. Great book. The hardcover has a cool metallic cover, like slip cover. It's awesome. So that is it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in our link tree down below, including Patreon, which would be the most helpful link. But I also fixed my Twitter. Apparently my tweets weren't showing up. I fixed that. Green King showed it to me. I fixed it. That's it. Thank you all once again. See you all next time.